This is the United Uprising channel. Welcome to today's show. I wanted to cover the national debt clock. A subscriber over on the website, most of the people on the website always cover the U.S. debt clock. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it and are aware that we finally, recently, within the last couple of weeks or months, had hit 33 trillion on the national debt clock, which most of us believe is the number that they're going to sit on here as they destroy the dollar, which is why most people are watching the U.S. debt clock. Not because anybody cares about the boogeyman of the national debt, but at some point they're going to pull the rug out from this entire system, this money system, and bring in the new digital currency system. So it all has to collapse, and it would make perfect sense, obviously, to collapse at 33, since that number means so much to them, 1/3 of the fallen angels. We know that 33 in Freemasonry is the highest degree you could ascend to in Freemasonry for a reason. And of course, this number also has to do with the death of Jesus Christ at 33 years old. So 33 has a lot of significance in the occult, and it would make perfect sense because most of the time when there's false flags, we see the number 33 around it anyway. So it would make perfect sense for it to be at 33 trillion, where it could sit around for a while. So I want to cover the U.S. debt clock because a subscriber on the website, Roy, has been sharing a lot of the weird things going on with the U.S. debt clock and some of the things they've been posting on the U.S. debt clock. Now Roy, along with a lot of the subscribers over there, share a lot of great stuff. And this is what's great about the website is I could share this with you. If you're not watching this thing, some people just watch a lot of different things that I don't watch, and they make me aware of these things. We all can't have eyes on everything, which is why networking on the website is great, because we could all show each other a lot of the weird stuff we're seeing. So Roy has been sharing a lot of stuff over the last couple of months in the forum that I've seen. And specifically, I want to get into some of the things recently that they've been sharing on the U.S. debt clock about, well, this thing, we've been talking about a little bit with Cern, right? And over the years, we've all heard about Cern. We've all heard about the Mandela effect, but it's very interesting that these types of little tidbits are popping up on the U.S. debt clock. Now, the USDebtClock.org claims, and of course claims, not to be involved with the government at all. They claim to be independent. On their About page, they say the purpose of the debt clock is to inform the public of the financial condition of the United States of America. We're dedicated to bringing the public the most accurate, up-to-date debt information possible. Numbers are laid out in such a way to give a complete real-time snapshot of the country's balance sheet. Although the numbers involved are enormous, it is still easy to see the relative balance between wealth generated and wealth consumed. Goes on to say at the end, America is a proud country with a long history of triumphing over extreme circumstances. It talks about how important it is to know about the debt clock and what's going on with this country because they're destroying this country. But goes on to say that he's not associated with, at the bottom, U.S. debt clock's not associated with any government agency or funded by or affiliated with any political active party. Now, we could obviously take that with a grain of salt because obviously we know how all these secret societies operate anyway. They always deny any involvement. And of course, that's what Freemasons are taught as well, to deny all involvement and all connection to this stuff. So let me share some of the stuff that Roy shared over on the website that's been posted on the debt clock. And other people have shared stuff as well. I want to thank them as well for sharing information. But look at this here. At the tip, so in other words, you go to this app or to the website to see what the current national debt is at, and it continually clicks, as you can see on the screen. It continually goes up. How does it work? Well, the guy claims it goes through an algorithm. Who knows? This is all fed from information that the government gives us, which, again, we can't really take legitimately. And you also may have noticed that the national debt in the last 4 years, for those of you that don't know, it was at 19 trillion. And then conveniently, it just sped up from 19 trillion to go from 19 to 33 trillion in 4 years. It's pretty unbelievable. And they'll tell you it's because of all these other things that have occurred. They're obviously getting ready to do this complete nuking of our financial institutions. So it looks more like they just went to 33 so that they could have their calling card on it. But here's the post, right? So Reality Collision, they put up Cern, so you can see Cern, the 666 logo. I've covered Cern so many times. Cern, for any of the new people out there, I mean, you want to look at the Hadron Collider, I have videos up of Cern on some channels. I have no idea which ones at this point. But, I'm sure a lot of people have seen Stranger Things, that big thing that opens up brings the things over in the upside down. Very similar, right? Of course, Cern is notorious for even having the Shiva the Destroyer outside. But here's the quote. So we've just completed another mega test, and we couldn't be happier with the result. It says, what exactly are you testing? We're opening up tiny wormholes in the reality matrix. Don't you think that could be dangerous? No, not really. What's the worst that could happen? You could plunge the Earth into a parallel reality and mess up the space-time continuum. People are so distracted they won't even notice. oh yeah, where did the S in depends go? And then you see, and I think I used this recently, the clip in the video I talked about the Mandela effect and just some of the things about it, because I know a lot of people automatically will dismiss it as a psyop, etc. You could have whatever opinion you want on it. Nobody could argue the fact that some of these things aren't weird. And we know with Cern and with some of the other crap that's going on, obviously they can cause mismemory and things like that too. But, you know, it's a debate to be had. If that's something that interests you, there's a lot of channels that go into deep detail about it. And they're specifically talking about depends, where the S go in depends, which, again, is another one of those things where you go, yeah, was it depend? And, you know, you can go back and forth all day. And they show the guy who has the sign from Cern with Mandela. So they're showing a lot of this stuff on the Debt Clock website. They're showing things like the Tin Man with the third eye, right? A third eye, right? You see the all-seeing eye right in the forehead. This is all very, you know, hint at something big coming, as if they know what's about to go down in the United States of America, because it is. Now, they use the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is one of the most basic MK Ultra mind control programs that they put out into the public. It's famous for that reason. They've used, the red shoes theory from the Wizard of Oz, of course, with children. Obviously that's stuff you should know about, but you can learn more about that over on the website. I can't talk about that here. We also know of the man behind the curtain, right? Everyone thinks of Oz, the man behind the curtain. Well, you know, they're showing you the man behind the curtain right here. The man behind the curtain is the one who's going to be responsible for destroying this entire economy, which again brings us into Mark of the Beast territory, enslavement system, total tracking, total control. So they need to destroy this by design. And then it says money creation is a scam, right? Which it is. Only a wizard could love, right? Only a wizard. So they use words like wizard, and people are like, well, it's a Wizard of Oz. Well, we know these people are all witches and wizards and Satanists, right? Then you even get biblical references here on the Debt Clock. One of the posts is, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So very interesting that they're putting up lots of things from Revelation and end times prophecies in the Bible over here on this Debt Clock, as if they know, hey, when this thing gets nuked, when this entire payment structure system gets nuked and it goes into a digital payment structure, we're talking Mark of the Beast, we're talking end times. And of course, they do have some other stuff up over there, people posted on the website over the years, where they make reference to the elections and how they're rigged, and what about the anonymous ballots and all that stuff. So it's kind of interesting that they put these little what they call them, Easter eggs out there for people to see. And kind of, most of the people kind of go to that website and they're actually just trying to keep track of what the U.S. the U.S. debt clock is at, and what is going on with other countries and their debt, the federal tax revenue. There's all sorts of things on there. So people find it interesting, but they never sit and they never ask who we're actually in debt to, right? And why they constantly push this, because they push this so that they have an excuse and a boogeyman, so to speak, to pull the rug out from under us. And the actual debt, if you really study the debt that we're into, is to China, right? And we obviously see that China's communist hand is all over this country, this corrupt government that's in place on the left and the right. China's really in control of what's going on. And now they need to convince you of wanting a communist society, and to, of course, convince you and blame you that this actually happened naturally instead of sabotage, because these people don't want their lives, because treason is what's the punishment for treason? It's not something that they want to experience, of course. So lots of interesting things, again, over on the Debt Clock thing. And I wanted to just share this because people, Roy shares it on the website. Other people have shared stuff over the past, like I showed you. It's just very interesting when you go to some of these things and all of a sudden they're talking about things that used to be taboo to discuss. Because the National Debt Clock gets a lot of traffic. People go over there really to just find out. They're like, what is going on with the debt? What is going on here? And they get a lot of information. You could make up, you could decide for yourself the benefit of looking at this stuff. Obviously, you plant seeds in your head where you start going, wow, at some point something bad's going to happen. They've been letting us know that for quite some time. And why not, when it's on 33 trillion, would it not be the time to pull the rug out of this whole operation? It would make perfect sense. They'll never come out. That's one of those things they never come out and talk about. It's the number 33, coded 33. You know how they make mockery? They'll bring up things like Mandela, the shape of the earth. They'll bring up crisis actors. They'll bring up pizza. I've never heard them come on TV and ever talk about the number or numerology involved with 33, ever. You rarely hear them talk about the Mark of the Beast or 666. We did hear it a little bit with the outbreak, references to the mark with everything going on. But 33 never gets brought up, and it's everywhere. If you actually go through all these events that supposedly have occurred, you always see 33 code, whether it's the address of the place, whether it's a T-shirt on somebody who's supposedly responsible for the event, whether it's on a 33 third parallel, which is a latitude, longitude location. There's a lot of stuff always with 33. You never hear it mention it. So obviously, we all should be keeping an eye on the national debt. I covered it a little while ago. I'm sure the video is gone because I don't even know which channel. I've gone through a channel almost a month. Oh, right, I'm a new YouTuber. So, going back and saying, hey, go watch this video on it, it's hard for me to do because I don't know where they are, other than the website Uprising Revival, where I pretty much am putting all my content up over there. That way everybody can find everything I'm referencing from the past. But I did talk about 33 back then when it hit 33, and how it went from 19 to 33 so fast just tells you that they're ready to do this now, because they want it to be on 33. It's not going to get up to 66 and then they do it there. It's going to sit on 33. It might go up to 34, then come back down to 33. It might go up to 35, come back down to 33. They might make something up. Oh, yeah, we paid some of it off, et cetera, et cetera. But when it all goes down, it'll be on 33. They always leave their 33 calling card. And that's why when they hit 33 in the first place, all of us were like, here we go, right? And it went from 19 to 33 literally like overnight. Because for the debt to accumulate from at 19, like all time, it was at 19. And in 4 years, to go from 19 to 33, I think it all started when Biden went in. It's very suspicious. That's almost like double in 4 years of a lifetime worth, right? Because they want it to be on 33 to let you know exactly who's behind it and what's going on, because they know that nobody could wrap their heads around it. Nobody will point fingers at the secret societies, the Freemasons, etc. And they'll never bring attention, again, to coding. They'll never bring attention to numerology. So the debt clock bringing attention to Cern, though, which is very, very interesting, even Mandela, and, of course, some of the other things that are out there. I wanted to bring it to your attention. I thought it was an interesting topic since it's being shared on the website. Hope to see more people over on the website. I hope everybody here is doing well. I thank you for being here on YouTube and following the channels around. I know it's a pain, but it means a lot to me that you guys still want to listen to the content and are able to, take the time to sub to the channels. I know it's just as annoying for you guys as it is for me. This is the world we live in now. We could, quit and go away, or we could just adapt, adjust, and hold up the middle finger to these psychopaths who are responsible. So I thank you guys for being here. Thanks to Roy and everybody on the website for posting and sharing stuff like this. You could post and share stuff like this on the website as well. That's what the forum is for. You can share all sorts of things that interest you, and everybody is, looking at it, commenting, maybe not commenting every time, but I mean, seeing this stuff and bringing attention to these things. There's only so many hours in the day. There's so much stuff to look at. Real stuff, not this fake stuff they distract you with in the actual newspapers, or not the newspaper, on the websites like CNN. They just put this stuff out there, constantly distracting you from actual truth. Well, over on the website, you can see all this stuff because people are seeing it and sharing it. So thanks again, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. God bless all of you and your families.